guys, this is David, and welcome to my 20,000 subscriber special. I thank you guys so much for this. I never thought that this day would actually come. I remember I made my first subscriber special whenever I had like 300 subscribers, and I never thought that I would even get to 300, let alone 20,000. That's crazy to me. I didn't think that anybody really cared what I ever had to say, but yeah, you guys did. So I figured it might be fun to go over a different part of my collection. I've talked in depth about my love for strategy guides before, and I have a ton of them. So I thought it might be fun to just go over the strategy guides that I own and just briefly just touch on them and just talk about them, because I love strategy guides. They're a lot of fun. It's like if you don't have enough time to actually play the game, but you can go through and like read a strategy guide in one night, and then you'll be able to like refresh yourself on what happened in the game and everything. And I think it's a really good way to kind of relive those past memories. So that's what I really like about strategy guides. I have some really old ones, like this Dragon Warrior 4 one I had to send away in the back of the instruction manual. Whenever I bought Dragon Warrior 4, there was like a little thing. I think you had to send away like $10 or $15 with this little coupon, I guess, this little cutout from the instruction manual. And then you would get this Dragon Warrior 4 full color manual. It's really good. It has all the enemies in it, it has maps in there. It's a really nice strategy guide. It's one of my favorites, actually. I've always loved this one. Another one of my favorites is this really old one that you guys can tell. This one is the Final Fantasy guide from the original Nintendo Power. I had a subscription to Nintendo Power ever since I was a little kid. In fact, I had a subscription to it back when it was called, I think, the Nintendo Fun Club. So yeah, I had a subscription to that till I think I went to college. I think I had a subscription to that. I still have these three guys hanging around from God knows when. This one's How to Win at Nintendo Games #2. This is Nintendo Strategies. Apparently I wrote all over it with ink, if you can even see that in the video, I don't know. But yeah, these, because, you know, back in the day, I used to have Life Force. I liked Life Force, that was a good game. I would play all sorts of different games, not just, I had Mega Man. I had all 6 Mega Mans, actually. I never had Metal Gear, but I would play all sorts of different games. I had Metroid. I played, you know, shit out of Metroid, man. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I could never beat that. I think it was King Hippo. I couldn't beat him. I don't know. My brother could. I couldn't. How to Win at Nintendo Games #2. I have this. How to Win at Game Boy Games, even. So, yeah, lots of this. But these are honestly, like, these are just kind of booklets. Like, there are no pictures in either of these. It's literally booklets that you read. So these are some old ones that I have. I have some new ones that are still sealed, like this Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. This one is still plastic sealed. I haven't unsealed it because I'm neurotic. So, so yeah. I have groups and collections of strategy guides. Final Fantasy IV Advanced, my Final Fantasy strategy guides. I've already showed you the first one. There wasn't a Final Fantasy II strategy guide for the SNES, I don't think. My Final Fantasy Tactics strategy guide, I have to hold it really carefully because it is falling apart. It is page by page, just literally falling apart. Some pages are stapled in there. I have used this extensively. You know that's a sign of a good strategy guide, when it's literally falling to pieces. My Final Fantasy VII strategy guide. I still have notebook paper in this from who knows when. Let me just see what I even have in here. I have apparently I made a, oh, I know what I did. I made a copy, a paper copy of how to get the Golden Sea and Mountain River chocobos. Oh, this is paper detailing all of the blue magic spells, the enemy skills, various materia combos are on this page. I don't even know what this is about. Highland updates. Nibelheim, I don't know. How to get Chocobuckle is on this page. Another copy, wow. Man, I'm not even going about the strategy guide. I'm going on these copies that I made. Oh, this is about... Oh, this is how to get the final attack material and what to do in Golden Saucer. So, yeah, I have final attack material highlighted there. So, apparently I was figuring out how to do that. And then this is... Oh, all the enemies... It says enemies with good steal items and where the enemies are located and also the names of the enemies and then what you can steal from those enemies. I have all that stuff written down because that's what you had to do back in the day. You know, back when if you're playing these games, you know, you just had to create your own lists. But the strategy guide itself is fantastic. I know I used this extensively. The Final Fantasy VIII strategy guide is in much better condition because I hate Final Fantasy VIII and that's the end of that story. Final Fantasy Anthology. This was 5 and 6. I had the Final Fantasy III strategy guide for the SNES. I remember getting it for Christmas. Whatever happened to it, though, I have no idea. A lot of stuff, whenever I moved away, a lot of stuff just kind of vanished. It's probably in my parents' basement somewhere. Who knows? I have 2 strategy guides for Lunar Silver Star Story because it's an amazing game. This strategy guide is all in black and white, and it's kind of crummy, but it does have maps and whatnot, so that's good. This one, though, this smaller one, is fantastic. It's in full color. It tells you what the story's about, full color maps, where everything is located. It even has some interviews with the designers in it. I mean, this is a great strategy guide. Moving on to Breath of Fire. I have Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter strategy guide because, believe me, you need a strategy guide to play that game. That game's hard. Oh man. I've played it and I like it, but it's hard. The Breath of Fire 1 strategy guide. This is, it's okay, it's decent. It's all in black and white. There are some full color pages with like some artwork and whatnot, which is pretty neat. But it's serviceable. It gets you through it. Most strategy guides back when were in black and white. It just was what it was. I have the Breath of Fire 2 strategy guide as well, which is kind of beat up on the sides too, you can tell. This one, yeah, I went through and I highlighted extensively in this one because Breath of Fire 2 is one of my favorite games. And, you know, I just want to make sure that I got everything so you can really tell that I've used this strategy guide. As it literally falls apart in my hands because they're just so old and they've been used so much. I just treasure them. Another one falling apart in my hands, Breath of Fire 3. You can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, but you can see how the pages are kind of falling out right there. Because again, I've used this one so much. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have maps in it. It just has a whole bunch of text and descriptions. But it is a... God, it really is falling apart, isn't it? Oh, man. Moving on, Star Ocean. I have strategy guides for First Departure for PSP. The original SNES game was not released in America, so there was not any strategy guide for that. But this looks nice. It has some nice full-color maps in there. You know, I love that kind of stuff. But I got this one, the second story, for the PlayStation. And this is a really nice strategy guide as well because it tells you how to get every private action. Those little bubbles right there on the left-hand side are private actions. And getting all those is quite the undertaking. So I'm glad that I had that. Moving right along, let's see. I don't have a strategy guide for the first Wild Arms game. I don't know if they made a strategy guide for the first Wild Arms, although I'd love to have it. I do have one for Alter Code F, the remake, which is, you know, a great game. So this is serviceable. This will do. I bought, because I didn't originally have this, but I bought the Wild Arms 2 strategy guide whenever I Let's Played Wild Arms 2, because a lot of times if I Let's Play a game, I want to make sure that I know everything about it. So not only am I researching it, I'm looking up guides on game FAQs, I'm also buying strategy guides for it as well. I have a page marked apparently for something. Oh, it's the final battle, so that must have been the last page there. They probably just use it as a bookmark or something. Wild Arms 3 strategy guide. Oh, I bought this at Electronics Boutique. I miss Electronics Boutique. That was such a good store. Now it's just GameStop. It'd be nice to have more things like that. Arms 5. Apparently I bought this one online because there's a sticker there that says online. But I bought this whenever I Let's Played the game as well. So again, this is a great strategy guide. I like it when they give maps. If a strategy guide doesn't give maps, I feel like, what's the point? You know? Because you can get everything else online, but it's really hard to get a good map. So it's nice whenever those are there. Moving on to the Tales series, I don't actually have a lot of Tales strategy guides. I have this one, Tales of Symphonia, because, you know, with a GameCube, you gotta have Tales of Symphonia. There's nothing else for the freaking GameCube. Tales of Legendia. Was there a Tales of the Abyss strategy guide? Because if so, I haven't been able to find it. That's like one of my white whales. That one, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and Lufia. Shockingly, the first Lufia game had a strategy guide, and I can't get my hands on it, so I would love to do that. I don't think that there was one for Lufia 2, though, or any of the other Lufia games for that matter, even the ones on the Game Boy. So, yeah, still looking out for those. Moving on to Dragon Quest, got a bunch of strategy guides for that. I have the Dragon Quest 4 Chapters of the Chosen. I bought this whenever it came out on the DS, even though I already had the original Dragon Warrior 4 guide from the NES days, but I figured why not. I have the Dragon Warrior 3 guide from the Game Boy Color version of the game, because there wasn't a guide for the NES version. The instruction manual pretty much was your guide. Dragon Quest 8. This, again, is another one that's fallen apart. You can see the pages kind of coming out. I have used this one extensively because Dragon Quest 8 is a fantastic game. Oh look, another Dragon Quest 8 guide. I think I got this one whenever I've been ordering lots of strategy guides. And I think that this one came in that lot, so this is just an extra, and it's nice to have an extra, you know? Dragon Quest 6, Realms of Revelation. This one's thick. Man, this one's thicker than Dragon Quest 8. Man. But this is a really good, like, look at these maps. I can't even get over it. Just how beautiful they are. God, I love the Dragon Quest series. To my next pile! Grandia. This is one of the worst guides I've ever seen in my entire life. I bought this guide when the game first came out, and I revisited it whenever I started Let's Playing the remaster recently. And oh my god, this guide sucks. It's so terrible. There's no maps whatsoever. It gives you this kind of like plot progression thing, I guess, with just screenshots and it's like numbered where to go next. It's absolutely abysmal. I do not recommend getting this guide. It's terrible. Oh look! Hey, I do have a Wild Arms strategy guide. Awesome. But I don't know why I didn't have this available. Anyway, this follows the same logic of the Grandia guide, where it just gives you screenshots and plot progression, so get it if you want to. Another terrible guide, Beyond the Beyond. I bought this whenever I couldn't figure out how to solve that church puzzle, the sliding little church puzzle thing. I don't think that this really gave an answer on how to solve the church puzzle either way, but this is a terrible guide. It is literally just text. There is no pictures whatsoever, and half the guide is taken up by this border. Like, what's that about? Shadow Hearts from the New World. I love the Shadow Hearts series. It is a fantastic group of games. I've played the first one on my channel, but honestly, I want to say From the New World, the third one, is probably my favorite one. Covenant was fantastic, but this one, I don't know, it was just more traditional. Kind of took like a Final Fantasy X route. I liked it though. It was good. It was good. Speaking of good games, nostalgia. I bought this whenever I Let's Played the game just for more information about it. But I remember seeing it in the game in the GameStop whenever I first picked up the game, but I didn't get the guide because I felt like the game was easy enough without it. But this is a really good guide, really good game. If you haven't heard of this game, Nostalgia for the DS, I highly recommend you look it up. It is a fantastic game. If you're a fan of Skies of Arcadia, check out Nostalgia. Oh god, what a terrible game. RPG Maker 2. Yeah. This game was released for the PlayStation 2 as a sequel to RPG Maker that was released on the PlayStation 1. The original RPG Maker on the PlayStation 1, I put literally thousands of hours into. Like, it is unreal how much time I spent on that game. This one, maybe 5 hours, because I could never figure out how the hell it worked. It was terrible. It was so unintuitive. This is the Super Mario RPG strategy guide. This was the reason why I bought the lot in the last strategy guide video that I did, because I wanted this strategy guide. And it does not disappoint. It has maps, it has everything that you need. It is in black and white, but that's part of the course for SNES days, and it is what it is. This is a strategy guide for both games, Legend of Zelda Oracle Seasons and Oracle of Ages. I can play 2D Zelda games. I can't play 3D Zelda games. So I played these. I enjoyed them. I want to say I played these on the plane ride from Georgia to New York when I was visiting my grandparents in high school, I'm pretty sure. I even have the strategy guide for Pokemon, because there was a time that I actually wanted to like Pokemon, and I've tried my damnedest to like Pokemon. Oh, all the stickers are still there too. I haven't even touched that. I don't know, I just could never get into it. I don't know. I bought Pokemon Blue. I remember that much. And I got maybe to the 4th gym or so, and then I just couldn't deal with it. I don't know. Another old strategy guide, The Secret of Evermore. Again, pages are falling out here. This is a nice strategy guide because the zones in Secret of Evermore are so large, you really do need maps like that, so that does come in handy. I wish that it gave you more of where the alchemy ingredients are all hidden, like with the doll where you have to hit the L and the R buttons to find the alchemy ingredients, you know? It would be nice if that was in that guide, but unfortunately isn't. So instead you pretty much spend the entire game holding L and R. Blue Dragon! I liked Blue Dragon, one of the few games on the Xbox 360 that I actually liked. Mostly because of its old school class system. I thought that it was very well done. I really enjoyed the game, and I bought the guide to complement it, so yeah. Okage, Shadow King. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, because apparently Okage is not the correct pronunciation, and I never pronounce anything right because everybody always corrects me on it in the comments. Anyway, this is another one that I tried to like. I got to the point where you got the girl with the umbrella, Rosalind I think her name was, and then I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like, I wanted it to be like Earthbound, and for it to be like really, really, really good like Earthbound, and it was different. It just wasn't really, really, really good. Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance for the GameCube. Yeah, I had this one too. I was pretty big into Fire Emblem around the GameCube, Game Boy Advance time period, and then I've kind of fallen off the end as far as Fire Emblem is concerned. It's not one of my favorites. Permadeath. This is Ys, Ark of Napishtim. For the PlayStation 2. I love the Ys series, that is no secret. I haven't yet gotten to Ys 5 or 6. I think that those are the last two that I need to play on my channel. I'll get around to them someday. Batten Kaitos, Eternal Wings and the Lost Ocean. What a great game. Speaking of games on the GameCube, man. I mean, Tales of Symphonia was good, but this one was just so unique. It was just so different. It was just so... I don't know, everything about it. Everything about it was good, except for the card-based battle system, but they did kind of fix that in the sequel, thankfully, but this is a great guide. The Granstream Saga. For those of you unaware, the Granstream Saga is actually part of the Heaven and Earth trilogy on the SNES, but this is the 4th part of that. Those are the Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma, those 3 games. This is the 4th game in that series for the PlayStation. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's a good game, though, because it's not as good as those. Arc the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits. Whoa! Oh my god. I should have really checked on my pile. Anyway. Anyway, Arcalad, Twilight of the Spirits. This game, it's a real-time strategy game, if I recall correctly, and I want to say that you can choose between like a human character and a demon. I'm pretty sure Dark, I think, is the demon. And it's a cool game. I liked the Arcalad trilogy on the PlayStation better than this game, but it's still a good game, especially if you're into real-time strategy games like Romancer and stuff like that. It's good. Here's another one that's beat up. Like this is, oh god, look at that. That's tore up right here. This is Golden Sun: The Lost Age. I have apparently used and abused this strategy guide over the years because it's a fantastic one with maps of everything, and because I love the Golden Sun series. Vanguard Bandits. This is a strategy RPG by Working Designs, and it's a good game. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's Working Designs, and Working Designs is just... oh, they're fantastic. They're really fantastic. I love them. I know that people give them a hard time because of their localizations and their humor. I know they have like Bill Clinton jokes in there in the Lunar series and stuff like that, but hey, I love it. I love the games that they choose. I love the quality of localizations that they put out. I think that they're a great game translation company. And I am glad to let you guys know, if you don't know, they are back, or at least Victor Ireland is back as Gaijin Works, and they're putting out like the Summon Night series. Not that those are any good games or anything, but it's there. Secret of Mana, yet another really, really old one from the SNES days that is in black and white, but it has maps of everything, and I have used this extensively. You can see the cover, it's all kind of like tore up and everything, but this guide has stayed together much better than a lot of the other guides that have been shown. It was falling apart at the seams. This is Legend of Legai. Unfortunately, it does not have maps in there. It's just kind of pictures and whatnot. That's why the guide is still kind of staying together pretty decently, because it's not all that great of a guide. That's how you can really tell. If a guide's falling apart, it's really good. If a guide is like together like this, then you know, that guide isn't so hot. Radiant Stories. I played this game once. This is not a game that you can play multiple times, although it does allow for different playthroughs because there are different choices that you can choose. You can choose to be like really good or really bad, or choose the light and the dark side or whatever. But it's so long, and it has like a billion characters in it. I just played it once, so yeah. Vagrant Story. This is like the black sheep of RPGs as far as I'm concerned, because this is a game that I wanted to like. I bought it on release day. I bought Vagrant Story, and I wanted so much to like it, but I couldn't. There was just something about the battle system, something about like hitting the weaknesses of the enemies, and it was just so overly complex. I could not get into Vagrant Story, so the guide sits here pretty much untouched. Xenosaga. I only have the guide for Xenosaga 1, not 2 or 3, unfortunately. I played through the Xenosaga series once, and I will tell you this, the first and the third game are the only reasons to play that series, because the second game is absolute gutter trash. Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door for the GameCube. The GameCube was more my brother's system. He bought it for Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I played for maybe an hour until I realized, oh my god, I can't do anything in 3D. I bought Paper Mario, and then I realized, oh, I really don't like the Paper Mario series all that much. I was thinking it was going to be more like Super Mario RPG on the SNES, but it turned into something different, and I'm not really sure if I really liked it all that much. However, I do have the strategy guide for the first game, so apparently I bought both of the games, and then I think I ended up giving them both to my brother, but I kept the strategy guides, because I'm a selfish bitch. Okay, this is Lost Odyssey. Fantastic game on the Xbox 360. Unfortunately, it does have these two little demons spawn in there who I can't stand, but other than that, it's a great game. yeah, basically, you bought the Xbox 360 for this, for Blue Dragon, and for Tales of Vesperia. There was no other reason to get it. Xenogears. Xenogears strategy guide is staying together quite nicely, I must say, but that's probably because it doesn't have any maps in it. It has lists, it has charts, it has boss fights and all that, but I need maps. I need maps. Come on now. This thing would be falling apart if it had maps in it, I'm sure. Great game. And the last strategy guide that I'm going to be sharing with you is Chrono Cross. This one is in okay shape. I want to say I played through Chrono Cross twice, I'm pretty sure. But just like with the Xenogears strategy guide, as you can see, no maps. It's a lot of pictures, a lot of text. So the strategy guide is staying together quite nicely because it isn't all that useful. But yeah, basically I just wanted to come to you guys today to thank you so much for sticking it out with me. I've been on YouTube now for, I don't know, 4 years? 5 years? 4 years probably. I have no idea. But honestly, I thought that I would just be kind of speaking out into the void and nobody would be listening to anything that I had to say, but I see different now, and I see that you guys actually enjoy what I have to say, so thank you so much for that. Have a good day.